Thankfully, Reese
now.
is helping us work this out together in our family therapy session.
Mother-daughter therapy session.
Jeez.
Reese is the therapist.
This is my time. I'm on the rise. Can't hold me down. I'm too fly. This is my time. Ready to shine. Brighter than all of the lights. Cause when it's game time, seconds away and the game's on the line. There ain't no doubt in my mind. Beating the buzzer like, this is my time. This is my moment. You better bet that I'm on it. Ready and set, I'ma own it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Be Stellar podcast. I'm your host, Stella Atwood. This is mom producer, Meredith Atwood. And on today's episode, we have Reese Littlewood.
Yay!
So you made the games again for your third year in the 16-17 division. But not only that, you made the semifinals as a 17-year-old, which is very impressive because in my opinion, this year was the hardest, like going from quarterfinals to semifinals in the individual division. I don't know what it was, but like everybody had a hard time making it. Really rough. So it was very impressive that you made it as a 17-year-old. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like being the youngest there amongst all these 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds?
Yeah, it was really cool. I knew I was younger than everyone, but that didn't like really seem like much. Like everyone was just kind of there to compete and do the same thing. But it was really different than the teens, just because like the teens, I kind of like have an expectation of myself for like more so placements, but also like I know what events will be good for me, what ones maybe not so much. Whereas like with going with the individuals, I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do any of this. And it was just like a lot more intense the first day than the teens. I feel like they're more like kind of chill and happy and friendly. Whereas like at least the first time we were in the warm area, I was like, oh man, like this is different than the teens.
Yeah.
But I had a blast. It was really like one of my favorite things I've done.
Yeah. Lucy McGonigal mentioned that on her podcast, that same. She said everyone was real serious. Not that the teens aren't serious, but it was just a whole new level of like in the corral and they were lined up, that just game face, I guess.
So
yeah, not as much like chatting.
I feel like I'm gonna have a hard time with that when I get to that level because I'm a big like chatterbox. Every time we line up for an event, I'm just like talking to everybody and probably really annoying at this point, but I'm a big chatterbox and I feel like that's gonna be a problem later. What were your goals going into semifinals? Did you have any, or were you just like, I'm there to have fun, I'm here to learn something?
Yeah, I think like my big one was like I'm here to learn. Like I didn't fully expect to make it. So when I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like I'm just gonna go and do my best. I had said going in that I wouldn't have been happy with like a bottom 10, but I think like after the weekend was over, like I didn't end up bottom 10, but had I think I would have been okay with it because I did my best and I felt like I learned a lot.
How was quarterfinals for you, like as an individual? Because I know the 16-17, they have the same weight as the women and same with the men. Like, how was that competition wise? Because it's very different from the teens.
I don't know. Quarterfinals was tough because I like knew I was trying to make semis, but like, you know how it is. Like the online competitions, you have no idea how well you're doing until like the leaderboards come out. So there's definitely a lot of like anxiety. I was like, oh, I don't know if that was enough. Like I think that was my best, but you kind of never really know. So I tried to just like do my best on each one, and then I like trusted it would be enough for the teens, and just kind of hoped it would get me in for the individuals.
Reese just beamed herself up into another room.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
She teleported, apparently. So
Okay.
you mentioned a coach. Have you had the same coach since you started CrossFit?
Yeah. It was very like a natural thing. Like I said, I didn't really know there was a games. I just wanted to do more CrossFit. So when I like seeked him out to be my coach, I was like, I just want you to help me get better at this. And then kind of like as I learned more and like got more into it, I was like, okay, now I want you to help me get to the games. And he's been great. I love having him as a coach. I think we work really well together. So yeah, he's been my coach and programmer since I started.
Okay, so who is this? Did you already mention his name?
I don't think so. It's John Warnick. He
Okay.
and his wife own CrossFit Phoenixville,
Where do you live?
Pottstown, Pennsylvania. It's like an hour outside of Philly.
So how do you, that's not close to Michigan, is it?
No, not really.
No.
I
don't
have
know
trouble with
why.
Pennsylvania too, Stella. It's not just
Yeah.
you. I think
Okay,
Pennsylvania
good.
is like not where it is. And I'm always like, well, that's close to
Yeah.
Michigan.
I
And
know
it's not.
It seems like it would be a Midwest state, but it isn't.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
it. I feel
Mhm.
like I think it's the shape of Pennsylvania. It feels very like it should be a Midwest state, but yeah.
Yeah. So if it was close, I was gonna be like, how do you feel about the teen games being in Michigan instead of Wisconsin?
I was pretty upset when they put that out. I was like, because I liked it when they did it in Madison. I thought it was cool. I think I would have been less upset if they didn't like split us up from the other divisions. But now I'm kind of like, I think it'll be fun. They seem to be like doing their best with the organization and getting us information and stuff. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be super exciting. I went to the Pitt Teen Throwdown last year, and I think they're gonna do a very good job at highlighting the teens. I think everybody's gonna have a very fun time.
We'll be very
Yeah,
chatty,
I'm looking
Stella.
forward
You
to
can be
it.
chatty.
Yes, I'm gonna be chatty because we have 30 girls in the division now. So there's so many people to be chatty with.
Lots of new friends.
Lots of new friends.
So
Yeah.
I have a question. How was that clean and jerk run workout, event one at
Oh,
like I watched that and I had to turn it off because I just was like, usually I can just watch and enjoy it, but I was like, this just looks terrible. It looks like it's awful. I just feel so bad for everyone.
yeah. It was definitely not my favorite event ever. It felt like it went on forever. I was like, I don't usually have like too much of. I'm not like a great runner, but I don't mind it. It's like usually a move that I'm like, okay, we're gonna run whatever. And that was pretty bad. I got through 2 rounds and I'm like, I want to be done and not halfway. But the
Yeah.
clean jerks were fun.
Was there a workout you really enjoyed there at semis?
Yes, I loved the legless rope climb, echo bike, and box jump over one. And the handstand
Oh,
walk, but mostly the legless was my favorite, I think.
nice.
That's a solid one. I do want to know how that workout with the lunges, the last one was, because everybody would get to the lunges with the dumbbells and having to break, and they would miss the 5 feet.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, just do it. So I do want to know how
Yeah,
that felt.
they just like for me it was like a grip thing. Like I felt like I could keep lunging if I could hold on better, but I'd get like a couple steps in and I'm like I'm going to drop this. So I think I did like only 1 or 2 sections at a time for that. But yeah, that was more difficult than I thought.
Now, what was that workout? Do you want me to pull it up? Do you remember it? I don't know how y'all remember anything. Was that
Um,
workout six?
I think yeah, it was like I think 22 cal echo bike for women, 15 muscle ups and then
72 foot.
70.
It says 72-foot dumbbell walking lunge with 70
Fifth.
pound dumbbells. Is that right?
Yeah.
Gross.
Wow.
Time cap 6 minutes. Was that like how long did it take you to do it? Was that like the longest, approximately whatever minutes ever?
Yeah, kind. It was fine till I got to the lunges, and I was like, "Oh, this is endless." I still have like six, five, whatever sections left. I think I was like around 5 minutes for that one. I don't remember exactly, but
So that was the hardest part of the workout was the lunge, the grip.
yeah, I
The
think
echo
so.
bike feels pretty bad to me.
Yeah, the echo bike was like, I feel like echo bikes was always bad, but in that one, it was like you couldn't really send it on there, so you had to push, but it was like somewhat comfortable. I don't know.
Mm.
What was your strategy going into that? Because me and mom, we've talked about all the strategies while we were watching it. It's like, do you go unbroken on
Mhm.
the ring muscle ups? Do you break it up so that you have grip for the lunges? Like, what was your strategy going into it?
Yeah, mine was kind of like a little more of a conservative strategy. I'm decent at like pulling gymnastics, so I knew like the muscle ups I could go unbroken if I wanted, I think, but it didn't seem like the best move with the lunges. So I think my plan was like break a little bit before you want to, and then like try and hold on for the lunges, which I ended up breaking like I think once or twice, and then I barely held on to the lunges. I did like one section at a time.
Do you have any embarrassing moments or funny stories from the past 2 years at the games?
Ooh, I'm sure. I feel like the most I feel embarrassed with competing though is like if I think I did poorly, then I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed. I just did that. I can't think of anything. I had a couple at semis, but I can't think of many like at the games that I like did something dumb that I was like, okay, that was embarrassing.
Okay, so what'd you do that was dumb at semis?
It was
Or do you not
actually
want to
twice
tell
in the
us?
same. No, it's fine. I'll tell you. It was in the like this rope climb workout First, I was like trying to be like efficient and chalk up before getting off the Echo bike, but I like went to pull it out of my wristband and blew up the chalk bin. So like the bike blew it all in my face and the judge. So we were both like chalk bombed like 5 rounds into this workout. I was like, oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh no.
And then I
Somebody's got
think,
video of that, right?
yeah,
That's
probably. And then that
hilarious.
same event, I like came down off the rope and like went to walk, what was it, to the box, I guess, and just fell right over. Like didn't twist an ankle or anything, just tripped on the air and fell. It was ridiculous.
But yet you said you love that workout. So funny.
I did love that one.
So
You tripped
how,
on the air. Oh
I
no.
mean, everybody trips on the air sometimes. It
I choke on
happens.
air. Air is my worst enemy when it comes to breathing, but
So how did the teen division prepare you for semifinals?
or did it not?
Or did it not?
I think like any experience is going to prepare you for semifinals better. So like the teens, I've competed a couple times in Wadapalooza and the game. So I think just like having been at in-person competitions and like getting to practice like kind of on-demand thinking and like strategy for more race style events like they have in-person competitions definitely help prepare me.
How would you explain the CrossFit Games to someone who has no idea what it is?
Oh, this is a problem on the daily with my like school friends. Like, what do you, the Olympics? I'm like, no, that's not, not that.
Are you going to
I
Paris?
basically
Are you
just,
in Paris? Are you at the Olympics? Yeah.
someone like messaged me the other day, like, what time are you on? I'm like, oh, what are you referring to? No context. So at the Olympics, I'm like, no, like we gotta, this is
No.
not, I'm not at the Olympics.
And then 5 seconds
But
later, how
yeah.
much do you bench? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you tell them? What do you tell them when
I
someone
usually just say it's like if you think of anything you could do to work out and you combine it, it's like the competition to prove who's better at it. So like that doesn't usually that doesn't help them understand at all, but I keep going back to it for some reason.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to find the shortest description too, because it's usually in a moment when you really don't want to talk about it, right? It's so I grew up doing Olympic weightlifting when like girls didn't lift weights. And so they would trying to explain Olympic weightlifting was ridiculous. And all the guys would just say, well, how much do you bench? And I would just give up. But I told Stella, I was like, maybe just say it's about feats of strength, speed, and walking on your hands, and then just
Yeah,
move on.
pretty much sums it up.
I just say that it has like literally everything in it except things with a ball. Okay, so I have a little bit of a fun question. These are my favorite to ask because I just think it's funny. If there was a zombie apocalypse and you had to survive with one other person, who would you choose to survive the zombie apocalypse with?
And why?
Ooh.
And why?
For so am I going like am I gonna die and this is like who am I gonna have a fun time with trying to survive or who's gonna like get me through? Because I
Who's
think I
gonna
have
get
two
you
different
through?
answers.
Oh, I want to hear both
All right.
answers.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who I'd pick for like get like make this a fun time. Like there's a lot of people in my life I'm like that they would make this enjoyable. I think like the person that would survive a zombie apocalypse though is my coach. Like he like in all his past did like the craziest stuff. He'd like go on these fishing trips and like sleep on rocks and stuff. He like I think his line was like he likes to like kind of put himself in death defying situations. So I feel like he'd absolutely get through a zombie apocalypse. And I'd do whatever he says. So I guess that would be a good combo.
That's funny. Stella, what about you? Did that make you tap in Griffin for the guy
Yeah, like
for
if
your zombie apocalypse?
yeah, because Griffin, he's strong and I feel like he'll know survival skills that I don't know. So
Well, just
I'll
because we
probably pick
bought him
him.
that book.
Yeah, we bought him like a survival skill book when he was going to Dubai for the Dubai Championship in December. And he read
That's
the whole thing.
amazing.
But I would probably have antibiotics and band-aids. You sure you don't want me to
But
come?
you would freak out. You would like, if we needed to be quiet, you would scream because there's a zombie in front of
I
you.
would not.
Like, and I'm like, no, they're gonna come after us because she just screamed.
But what if we were gonna die? Would you let me come along because we'd have fun?
Mm,
No, I'm not coming in any apocalypse just on your podcast.
I feel like you would be very stressed out. It would be very stressful.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so who would you take for fun?
Who would I take for fun?
Don't say dad.
No. Dad would probably be my second choice for survival.
We
But
can't tell him that. He would assume that he would be first choice for survival.
dad cannot lift heavier anymore. He cannot lift weights anymore. So
Okay.
that he's not the choice right now. I would probably choose Daniel, one of my 30-year-old friends. He's fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. How about you, Mom? Who would you choose?
Well, not you now. I mean, if you're not going to pick me, I'm not going to pick you.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know. Let's just not. It makes me nervous thinking about it. You're right. I'm the wrong choice. Next question. I'm
Next
sweating.
question. I know it's really hot. Okay, what does a normal training day look like for you during the school year?
It's kind of weird. So this is like kind of off topic, but I'm moving to college in like 3 weeks. So it's going to be all different next year. But this past year, what I did was I do 3 days a week. I do like a morning session and an afternoon one. So I'd go to the gym like 5 to 7, go to school, and then I'd go back like 3 to 6 ish, depending how much I talk. And then Saturdays would be just like a long morning session.
Where are you going to college?
University of South Carolina.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. Where do you plan on training when you're there?
So there's a gym that's like not on the campus, but like walking distance called Carolina CrossFit. So I'll go there and that'll be where I'll train. But my coach will still be my coach and he'll still program for me from afar.
Very
What
cool.
is what is a CrossFit movement that you love but others might hate?
I don't know. I feel like the ones I like are like common favorites. Like I love handstand walking. I love legless rope climbs. Um, Maybe wall walks. I feel like some people don't like them. I really like wall walks. Really, any of the gymnastic stuff I like.
Well, I
I
just looked
like
up. So sorry, I'm going back to the college thing. Is the University of South Carolina, you said South Carolina, right? Is in Columbia?
Hmm. Yeah.
Is that Columbia? Okay. So you're not too far. So we're in North Atlanta. So that's not a
Oh,
terrible.
nice.
So if you ever want to like
Yeah, it's not awful.
come train over here, come visit.
Yeah, I love training
Right.
partners. We should
I
go.
know. Stella's always trying to like twist people's arm to come visit.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Train with me.
they're like no. I would ask them like, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they're like, "No." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh." It's like, "Oh, okay. It's fine
Did
if
you
you like
have
that."
trouble with that, Reese? Did you have people to train with, or was it always kind of like you were the youngest of
Um,
a group, or did you have teenagers to train with?
so not until recently, like so I've been doing CrossFit like 3.5 years now. The first like probably two, I was like only trained alone. Granted, I take class at the affiliate every day, so like that obviously has other people in it. But for like my like competitive programming, I do it all alone. And then last year, some like my like 30-year-old friends started joining me. They'll do things with me. And then two teenagers, you might actually know them from the pit, the Roberts brothers.
Yeah, I do
I
know
don't
them.
know. They joined our gym. So then they've trained with me a bit. So now, like, I'd say maybe 50% of the time I train alone, but the other half of the time, like, either my friends that are older will join me or Silas or Caden will hop in.
Would you say that like taking CrossFit classes along with, your own programming, would you say that helps you to not feel alone?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it also, like, kind of gave me, like, an amazing support system. Like, now I know most of the members at the gym and they're all like, hey, they'll check in, like, how are you doing? How's things going? And I think like if I didn't take the classes, like they're just nice people, they'd probably still do that. But I think because I know them and like I work out with them, they like feel a little bit more involved in what I'm doing and it's cool. It like creates like a kind of extra special community.
I know. I think you missed that, don't you, Stella? Like you enjoyed taking classes and you haven't done that in a while. Maybe you should
Yeah.
jump in on the off season.
Yeah, I'll probably jump in after the games because it's been feeling a little lonely with games training, but I've been having people come down to train with me. So, but I'll probably hop back into doing some classes just to not feel so lonely in the gym.
Well, how do
Yeah.
you balance, Reese, sort of the time between the end of the games and off season and not burning out and like how's that been for the last few years?
So I'm pretty bad with like the off season. Like I think last year I took like 3 days of no working out after the games, and I was like, okay, you got to give me something. Like I'm going crazy. So definitely like the off season training is different, but I'm not like I don't take a lot of time off. I kind of just go back to it, and it'll look different. Like it's more like for me the past few years, it's been more like strength cycle type things or like building power, and less like intense CrossFit. Um,
But then I've also like the Wadapalooza qualifiers are not long after the games, so that's kind of like intense pure CrossFit. So that's been interesting. I'm definitely like a little nervous this year with how close the games are to those qualifiers because I'm like, oh, there's like 2 weeks. That's not going to be enough
Is
time
there
for me to like
really?
strength. I think so. They usually run them like middle of September.
Oh wow, Stella, did you know that?
Yeah, I did. And I
Oh.
literally just thought about that a week ago. I'm like, oh, the second I finish the games, like I want to try and go to Wadapalooza. And then I was like, oh,
Mhm.
it's really soon. But
What's the division in Reese? Would you be in the individual or would you still be a team?
No. So yeah, Wadapalooza, they go 13 to 15 and 16 to 18. So I'll turn 18 in October, but I still get another year in the teens there
Oh,
because they're
nice.
January.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the cutoff is, wait, the cutoff's
When's the
January?
cutoff?
January 1st, I think. So like if you're 15, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she turns 16 December
31st.
31st. So
So,
Oh
you
my
would
goodness,
age
that's
up.
tough.
Oh no. So you meet your
Uh,
competitor, Reese
hey,
Littlewood, Stella.
woo.
Oh no. That they only take 10, right?
I think so in past
Yeah.
years. Yeah. I haven't seen anything about it this year though. I don't even know if those dates are right or not.
That'll be a tough one, Stella. You need to do the qualifier just to do it, but
Yeah, just to
just
do it. But it's gonna
just
be
to do it.
like,
Probably
my
not.
my probably not gonna make it because it's 16 to 18.
Oh, you'd be the baby.
I would be the baby. Whew,
That's
that's
okay. I was
scary.
the baby once. It was scary, but it was good.
I was the baby once. I was the
Yeah.
baby once.
Yeah, you were the baby at semifinals, so you get it.
Wait, do
You
I have it
understand.
backwards or are you still in the 14 to do I have
Sh
it backwards? Do you just stay in the cutoff or do you miss the cutoff? No, it's 16 to
Me?
18 as of January 1, right? Is that what you said,
Yeah.
Reese?
So I'll still be 16 to 18. Yeah. And I think
Okay,
she would be
16.
also
Yeah,
16.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah.
missed it. Okay, I got confused for
Yeah,
that.
because I would be 16 at Wadapalooza.
You'd be 16 as of December 31st. So the age cutoff is January 1, so you'll be
Yeah.
16.
So I would
Yeah.
do the qualifiers as a 15-year-old and then be 16 at Wadapalooza if I
Oh,
were to make it this year.
right. So you would do the qualifiers based on, oh, I don't know. We're just talking. We don't know anything. We should just go read. Reese is like these two clowns. Okay.
So speaking of reading, do you like to read?
I do like to read. Yeah. It's definitely weird during the school year, but during the summer, I read a lot.
What kind of books do you like to read?
Kind of everything. I'm not big on like horror ones, but sometimes I'll like think I'm like older and brave and try it. And then when I can't sleep for like 3 days, I'm like, okay, we're going back to my like usual random books.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have like a favorite? Are you like a horror movie watcher or do you hate horror movies?
No, I'm not a horror movie watcher. I wouldn't say I hate them, but I'm like way too anxious for that. I'm like, oh no, there's going to be someone trying to do this to me. And it's like completely ridiculous, but then I can't sleep.
Yeah, if it's like a dumb enough horror movie that is just completely like it will never happen, I'll watch it. Like
Hmm.
I love The Quiet Place because I don't think it will ever happen.
Oh, see, that
Yeah.
one scares me.
I love those movies. It's because it's quiet and noise,
And
you
it's a
know,
place.
and it's a place, and I don't think it will happen. So it's not that scary.
Quiet Place freaked me out. And
Really?
then was that M. Night Shyamalan? I don't think so. But any of his movies freak me out.
Yeah, I need to watch the new Quiet Place when it comes out on
Yeah, we
TV.
wait. We don't go see it in the theater because people smack their popcorn.
It's like, and we're like, dude, it is a
That's fair.
quiet movie. Don't even eat, don't drink, don't make a.
Especially for that one.
What is a workout that you hope to not see at the games? Like one that you're like, I don't want to do this. I am going to leave and never do this workout.
I wouldn't be thrilled to see a 5K run. I feel like everyone has done a 5K run this past year.
Yes.
Like all the competitions are doing 5Ks. I'm like, all right, let's move on, something new. Um,
Agreed.
yeah. I'm like, other than that, as long as they like keep it exciting and it's not like they're just doing things to do things, then I'll be happy to do the workouts.
Yeah, everybody wants to see a run in like the teen division. I'm like, no, no, guys,
Yeah,
no.
I'd be fine with no running.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's definitely a test of CrossFit, but I don't know. I think y'all should get to run in between like movements or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know,
Or
that
like
kind of
make the
running.
run like exciting, like add something in the middle. I don't know. I just don't
Hurdles.
want to do another like
Hurdle.
pure run. Sure. Yeah.
Like a trail
Yeah.
run and then like a hurdle. And then after every hurdle, you have to blow up a balloon and tie it.
Oh, that would be
Sure.
bad. I am not like my finger skills. What is that called?
Um,
Not
Motor
appropriate.
hurdles.
skills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Motor
I feel
skills.
like my
Fine
motor
motor
skills are
skills.
pretty bad.
Yeah, I can't really tie a balloon, so I would be kind of screwed there.
I would hate
Yeah, I'd just
balloons
be
in
blowing on
general.
it forever.
I hate
Yeah.
balloons.
I just have
Balloons freak me out.
fat fingers, so when I'm trying to tie it, it's like I can't get it.
I do
I
not
like
have
lose the
fat
thing and
fingers.
shoot it.
Yeah. She hates balloons. My mom
I
hates
hate balloons.
She hates them.
I hate the sound of them. And when the kids like always bring them in, they're like, we're gonna pop it. And because I don't like something obviously happened to me as a kid because I'm freaked out when a balloon pops. And yeah. Stella, I didn't tell you I got balloons for that open house I did. And I tied one on the sign and it like bumped into something and popped like right outside. And I went like screamed. The neighbor, like so embarrassing. 45 years old screaming at balloons. Now I understand why I'm not invited to the apocalypse. Fine.
See, we're getting to a point every minute of this episode. It's making
Thankfully,
sense
Reese
now.
is helping us work this out together in our family
Mother,
therapy session.
mother-daughter therapy session.
Jeez.
Reese is the therapist.
Oh, I would not make a good therapist.
I
Oh,
feel like
really?
you
Why
would. I feel
not?
like you'd be a good therapist.
Maybe my friends in like my high school friends always said I had good advice, but I don't know. I feel like I I don't know if it's that I'm like no nonsense or I'm just like logical. I don't know. Certain things I'm like that's not a problem. Like if you just like think it through, it'll be okay. I don't know.
Do you have like very little tolerance for whining and like people kind of like not just getting their stuff done kind of thing? Because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. You could be a coach instead of a
Yeah.
therapist. Because there's like people that
Yeah.
actually coach people like in life that, are more action oriented versus just whining. So
Yes.
maybe that's it.
Do you have any like plans for when you get to the big dog division, like after the teen division? Do you have a plan with like, are you gonna do any jobs? Are you gonna like, what's your after high school
What's your
plan?
life plan?
What's
Well,
your
she's going
life
to
plan?
college.
Yeah. So yeah, going to college. Hopefully get a degree eventually. But I am gonna keep trying to compete. So like next year, my plan's still just open quarterfinals, hopefully make semis, and then see if I can get a little closer to the games.
So a little bit of a life plan.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah, no one really knows their life plan. I don't really know why I asked that.
It's a big question. I'm
Yeah.
glad though. You know what? I'm really glad. I think that's generational. I think you guys are much smarter than us old ones. We used to like have to have a life plan by like 16 and then therefore we made really dumb choices. So I think it's good to be like, hey, I'm just gonna go to college and see what happens. It's smart. You give yourself room to figure out what you want to do forever.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about your family and how they support you, or do you have any pets?
Yes, I have two dogs. They have trouble differentiating between carpet and grass, so they're not allowed upstairs.
Oh,
But we have a golden doodle who's like afraid of everything, and then a little Shih Tzu who like completely runs the show.
Hilarious.
So yes, that's fun. But yeah, my family's great. They actually all do CrossFit, so that's been fun. It started out just me and my mom, and then like slowly we just like kind of recruited the rest of them. I have two siblings and then my dad. And yeah, they do it. They go to the classes. They always come and cheer me on at competitions. And they all like sign up and do the open. So like my mom and sister made the quarterfinals. My sister made actually the semifinals in your division, I think, the 14, 15. So they
Oh,
all are
nice.
like kind of in it. They understand. Yeah. So they're great. It's fun.
that's
That's
good.
cool.
Do you have like a big crew coming to support you at the games?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun. There's like a lot. I forget how many, but a bunch of people coming from our gym. A bunch of us are going to stay in an Airbnb together. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Saw your
But you, do you have a bunch?
games fundraiser shirts. Those were kind of
the
funny.
nerds ones. Yeah.
Oh, I
I
didn't
like
see
your
them.
Taylor
What do they
Swift
look like?
box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
are the
love Taylor
nerds
Swift.
ones?
This is probably like a copyright thing, but
okay.
a friend at the gym is like an artist. I think he draws like the designs for or like the diagrams for like medical books. But so two different friends actually. One was like, "What do you want on the shirts?" And I had no idea. And he knows I love nerd gummy clusters. And I'm like kind of my mom always makes fun of me that I'm like a nerd jock. Like I don't know, I like school, but I also work out a lot. So it was kind of like a funny, like tied it all in. He's like, you should do something with nerds. So we talked to this other guy and he ended up drawing out this design that has like Reese Littlewood, CrossFit Phoenixville in the middle. And then it has like the little nerds characters kind of around it. So that was one of our fundraiser shirts. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of copyright violated the Taylor Swift thing too. But I mean, if you want to come after our $400 we raised, go ahead. We'll give it right back to you. Like, whatever.
Yeah. I know. I'm loving like seeing everybody's fundraiser shirts because like most of them are pretty creative. Like this girl in my division, she did one where it was like Chalk Queen and it was just handprints of chalk. And I was like, that's awesome. So,
yeah. I like when they get creative with it. Like we
Yeah.
have some that are like plain too, that are like just like Littlewood CrossFit games. But I like when people like come up with fun stuff and like kind of show their personalities a little bit.
So one last question I have is, do you have any advice for teen athletes who want to make the games?
I think I'd say like probably the most like important thing for me and like probably what helped me the most is like make sure you have like a great group of people helping you out or like supporting you. So like my coach is excellent. I wouldn't want to be coached by anyone else. And I have amazing friends at the gym. The whole gym community is like amazing. I'm like so sad to be going to college because I have to not be with them every day. And then like my family supports me. Like I think it's so important to have people there. Even if they have no idea what CrossFit is, just telling you like you're doing a good job, like keep going. We're here for you. I think that's one of the biggest things because it's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows, or maybe you don't qualify a few times and you need people there to remind you that you're doing all right.
Well, Reese, we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes, it's getting close, like 30 days, I think.
Well, make sure you say hello. And because Stella created this podcast so she would have friends.
It's true. Like now I have a lot of friends and I'm just happy to know everybody.
Just kidding.
Yes,
but kind of not really.
My coach and I were talking about this the other day when we got the thing about like we're riding the bus from the arena or whatever that first day. I don't know. He's like, it's good that you know people because otherwise you get thrown in onto a bus with a bunch of people you don't know day one. I'm like, yeah. So it is nice. I think it's good to have friends going in.
King of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch out, here I come. This is my time.